Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Good morning, Blitzers, and welcome back to another episode of the Buckeye Blitz podcast. I'm your host, Chad Stryker. Welcome back for a Buckeye Friday. Have a little bit of sinus stuff going on here in the state of Ohio, so, I guess welcome to pretend spring and a little bit of warmer weather and now some colder weather, so hope you're enjoying I hope you enjoyed the warmer weather and the somewhat mild winter so far. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to spend some time with us. I appreciate it. I am working on something a little unique. I'm going to be asking some folks to join me on the podcast soon to do, a different kind of show where we have more than just me speaking. So more to come on that. I'll keep you posted, but working on that as we speak currently. So if you would do me a favor, hit that like button, and it really helps with the YouTube algorithm to search us and sort us up to the top with Buckeye football related content. I would really appreciate that, and it would make us a little easier to find for lots of different folks. So, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And if you want more updates on what we're doing, the things we have going on, go ahead and subscribe if you'd like. Spring practice begins in less than 3 weeks. The spring game is April 15th. Again, just a reminder, tickets are on sale for that. They start at $7 plus your service fee. Pretty cool event. So if you miss football as much as I do, and you like to catch a little bit about some of those young guys, and obviously we have the Kyle McCord versus Devin Brown, uh, you know, true quarterback battle. We'll get to see them that day as well. The Indiana game is exactly 197 days away, and things are relatively quiet in Buckeye World as they're doing the Body by Marathi winter workouts. I did see that Aaron Noland, a quarterback in the class of 2024, and I know some folks especially on the Bucknuts sites, really like him. It's been said that he has the fastest release of any of the 2024 quarterbacks, so keep an eye on this. He's a 247 composites 4-star, number 10 overall out of Fairborn, Georgia. Nolan does not have an OSU offer yet, but I think he'll get one this weekend. I've heard, some grumblings and some mumblings ever since Rayola decommitted around our 2024 quarterback. We've offered the kid that's committed to Alabama, Julian Sayin. We've offered a few other guys as well. And, there's, Jaden Davis that, it sounds like he might be a Michigan lean. So I would just say it's okay. Take a deep breath. As long as Ryan Day and Corey Dennis are the coaches at Ohio State, they're going to find the right quarterback. It's going to be okay. So I'm interested to see what comes out of this weekend with Aaron Noland, what they think of how he throws, what happens, if he does get an offer. I do expect that to happen. Some other random tidbits, some speed ratings from different players have been, released or, shared with the public. And Jaden Ballard out of Massillon ran somewhere around 27 miles an hour. That's fast. Like, that's fast, folks. Like, moving. He needs to see the field. I know we'll see him a lot in the spring with Emeka and Julian recovering, and obviously you're not going to burn Marv out in the spring, but he needs to see the field a lot. I hesitate to say this because I feel like I'm going to get some flack for it, but I think he might need to play over Julian Fleming. I'm just calling it like I see it. He has the top end speed of like a Jamison Williams, and if not, maybe a little bit faster. I mean, that 27, that's flying. I mean, that kid can fly. So, no disrespect to Julian Fleming, but it just hasn't worked out for him. He just hasn't like put it all together. And maybe this is the year that happens, and I'm way wrong. And you guys can come back and put like thumbs down and laughing face emojis on my YouTube. But um, really interested to see Jaden Ballard. So we'll see how that all turns out. But I thought it was worth mentioning. 27, that's fast. So, anyways, as promised, the state of the position at tight end. Let's talk about a few things before we like dive in. But Kate Stover's back. The first tight end in many years. I was trying to remember, maybe it was Jeff Hireman, I'm not sure, to have 30 catches as a Buckeye. And he emerged as a legit weapon, at least in the first 2/3 of the season. And, he got banged up and he was injured and wasn't quite the threat at the last third of the year going into the Michigan game and then into the Peach Bowl. And there then didn't play the way that we had come to expect him to play. So I am excited about what he brings. I'm excited that he's back. Another note just of interest is the number 2 tight end last several years, because this is something that everybody's probably saying, well, we know Stover's back, who's next, has only averaged between 5 and 7 catches per season. I think you have to go back to like 2018 to get somebody that had above 5 catches, and it was 7. So why does that matter? Why am I even mentioning the number 2 tight end? Why am I bringing this up? Because we have a very young offensive line with brand new starting tackles on both sides. So I fully expect Ohio State to use a lot of 12 personnel, especially in critical pass protection moments, to help chip on the edges for the tackles. Why does that matter? Well, 12 personnel is 2 tight ends. Why does that matter? Because whoever the other tight end is that isn't named Cade Stover is going to need to know how to block and be at least marginally decent at it. So let's take a look at the room, shall we? Friendly reminder, Mitch Rossi has moved on and is out of college eligibility. I know they sort of considered him a tight end, so I thought he was more of an H-back than a tight end, but here we are. So first, Cade Stover. I expect another 20-plus catch season for him. I expect another full spring and summer at the position. If you go back a year ago, January, he was playing linebacker in the Rose Bowl. So, yeah, the timing, I think this is going to help a full spring and a full summer, help his timing, help his blocking, and I think both will be significantly improved. I know that we all hated the bubble screens, but honestly, some of those got blown up because of crap blocking on the edge. And sometimes it was Stover's fault. He was just late. He was late getting out there. So, excuse me. Looking ahead, I'm really excited for what Stover brings. I really do expect him to have a monster year this year and be a matchup problem for a lot of teams. And that said, I think that his blocking will be improved. Like, the guy's a worker. He's going to get better. So, looking forward to that. Second, I'm putting Joe Royer here. He missed a lot of time last year in a really sucky situation in September where he lost his mother. As someone who's lost a parent, it just sucks. And I feel for that kid. And it's no wonder that he had a difficult year. That's something that's really tough to recover from, especially in college, and you have the team and practice and school and everything else going on. So Royer, crazy talented, came out of the class of 2020 out of Cincinnati Elder. He's long, he's 6'5", he's a gifted pass catcher, and he was a top 10 player in Ohio in the 2020 class. His senior year, just for reference, he had 70 catches and over 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns. So he's a baller. He can play. What we need to see from Joe is added strength, blocking ability. Nobody in the building is doubting his pass catching skills. If I had to do a comparison, I think I'd maybe, former Buckeyes, I'd compare him a little bit to perhaps Jeremy Ruckert, who was a great pass catcher, but it took time to get that blocking in. But a little taller and faster than Ruckert. So it wouldn't surprise me, especially in the spring, if Royer gets a chance to turn some heads, he will. Um, and that'll bubble up into fall camp. Uh, I like him in the number 2 spot as long as he can block and block well. Number 3, I have G. Scott Jr. converting from wide receiver. He's still learning the position. He made a boneheaded play in the Michigan game with the headbutt. I haven't forgotten about that. I don't think the coaches have either. Got to control your emotions in big games. Being a converted wide receiver, he has elite pass catching ability. He's added some bulk. He is rangy. I could see him making a serious go at the number 2 tight end position as well. We'll see. It's again, I'm going to say for Royer and Scott in this number 2 tight end position battle that I can't believe I'm breaking down, whoever blocks best and can hold their blocks and can help in the 12 personnel the best is going to win that job. So that's that. Fourth, I threw Zach Herbstreit in here. So I know he's a walk-on. He saw some time last year. He was in a couple games, late in games. He does have ability. Don't get me wrong. So I put him here. He's going to be in the room. We'll see. That's what I'll say. Fifth, incoming true freshman, Jelani Thurman. He's the number 5 tight end in the country. This year, consensus 4-star and a top 150 player nationally. He was the 6th best player in Georgia. He's an elite pass catcher, and he will need to add size, but he would remind you, if you wanted an NFL comparison, of Julius Thomas. That's who I think of when I think of Jelani Thurman. I would say that if Jelani Thurman sees the field, it would be a break glass in case of emergency situation. So I think that the top 3 are good enough. There might even be somebody that I'm forgetting. I don't think so. But that said, Ohio State also likes to use a 6th offensive lineman the way like they used Josh Fryer last year. So I'm not sure who that will be. If I were, taking a guess, and Vic Cutler doesn't win the starting center position, and or Carson Hinsman, whichever, that could be, he could be the jumbo package person who would kind of be like an extra tight end. So don't forget about that. That's it for today, folks. Nice and short and sweet. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking some time with us. Happy Buckeye Friday. Enjoy the weekend, folks. If you have a long holiday, enjoy that on Monday. And we'll see you next time. Go Bucks.